Hello, this is Sergeant Fithen with Moore County Crime Stoppers. We're here today with another Officer of the Month video for you. This is going to be the Officer of the Month for May. For those of you who keep up with the Officer of the Month, you may recognize our guest today. He was actually in our last Officer of the Month video due to his involvement in a pursuit situation that it ended here in Dumas at a local Pizza Hut. So if you're interested in that, you missed it, whatever, you can go back and check that out. But he's here with us again today due to his involvement in two additional pursuits that happened recently. And it's going to be Deputy Aaron Martinez of the Moore County Sheriff's Office. And we're going to kind of recap these other two pursuits because just due to luck of the draw, he's been involved in all three of them and caught the bad guy, helped catch the bad guy every time. So... Deputy Martinez, thanks for coming on. Congratulations on Officer of the Month for May.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know. So to kind of recap the Pizza Hut pursuit, as it were, I know we had you and Officer Ortiz with the Dumas Police Department and Sergeant Williams with the Dumas Police Department on last time. But today we're here to talk about two other pursuits, like I said, and then the first one we'll talk about, I know kind of the background on it was, there was, if I'm not mistaken, there was a U.S. Marshals task force operating in Amarillo that they were looking for a guy who had some outstanding warrants and were able to locate him, but he ended up evading from the Marshals task force and headed northbound, and we got word that he was headed towards Moore County. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it was actually raining that day pretty heavy. And we got a call from LT saying, hey, we might need to set up spikes or something like that on 287, just a heads up.
Right.
So I was en route that way. And there was some like miscommunication as far as like, I wasn't aware at the time they had fled from Marshals at that time. So I was just like,
right,
I'll develop PC, stop him, do my thing, you know?
Right.
Because we knew he was wanted. I'm not sure if it was a driver or passenger, I'm not sure. But so I get him going northbound on 287,
right,
like 94 and 75.
So they're moving pretty quick.
Moving really quick.
Yeah.
And traffic's surprisingly like congested. So it's really, I see the vehicle.
Yeah.
And they see me hit the brakes. They drop down to like 90.
Yep.
And then accelerate again. So I'm hitting the turnaround to catch up to them. Well, there's just semis and all these vehicles, so I got to like slow it down a little bit. To let them pass.
Yep.
And then I continue northbound. Sure enough, LT passes me. I thought we were going to like end the pursuit because before it even started because of the weather.
Right.
But traffic was starting to slow down a little bit as well though. And then we entered the city. LT had a great visual of him. The vehicle turned, I think, in the Guy Lane Plaza. Yeah. And then I was right behind LT and they were trying to find him. And then I just looked up, saw the vehicle parked at Big R.
Okay.
And I just straight shot over there. And I was thinking, like, I saw both doors open on the vehicle. I'm like, they took off.
They bailed out.
They bailed out. Okay. So I see a jacket flying in the wind. And sure enough, the passenger had ditched his jacket and ran behind Big R.
Okay.
So, but at the time, I thought he was the driver. I didn't realize that there was two occupants inside the vehicle.
Right. Okay.
So I guess the driver had fled northbound. I didn't see him. I went after the passenger who I told you had run behind Big R.
Yeah.
So I'm running behind Big R, and he tosses a like a fanny pack, and I'm thinking like maybe there's dope in there, or a gun or something, you know?
Sure.
And then I'm sure he heard my sirens and how fast my engine was revving to catch up to him and everything, because he just stopped and put his hands up, and that was that, man.
Okay, so he knew you were right on him.
Right, yeah, and then hooked him up, went back to the vehicle to inventory it, to tow it, and we weren't able to find the driver, man. He got away, so that's kind of downside of that one.
Yeah, I know. There were some other issues with that where I think that our guys, if I'm not mistaken, actually made contact with him a little bit later, but due to the way the legal system works and everything, they weren't able to directly tie him to it with the information they had at that time.
Right, yeah.
So they, ended up not making an arrest at that time.
That's kind of a gray area right there. You know, that one was kind of...
Yeah, you got to tread lightly. But in your case, I mean, saw the guy fleeing and was able to catch him. And So awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'll have to look.
he had a record also for like for running,
Really?
for fleeing. Yeah, so he was
Yeah.
known for that.
Yeah. Well, and we see that a lot. I mean, you know, as well as I do, a lot of times when you're dealing with someone who they're already evading, and then once they get out of a vehicle and they're already taking clothes off or throwing stuff off, like this is usually not their first rodeo.
Exactly. Yep.
So, you know, they're trying to change appearance, trying to disassociate themselves from
Yep.
whatever they might have on them. Do you know? Did you find that fanny pack? You know, if you had
Oh yeah.
anything?
So going back to that,
Yeah.
I found the fanny pack and I was looking through it, searching through it. He had a cell phone in there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, maybe like a lighter or two, and maybe some cigarettes. That was about it. There wasn't much in there. But I
Okay.
was
Yeah.
thinking, like, I also asked him, I was like, "Hey, why did you ditch the fanny pack after it was all said and done?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I was running from you. The strap kept hitting my chin."
Oh.
He's like, "So I just wanted to like get rid of it because it was bothering me."
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
he
yeah,
needs to be more aerodynamic when he's running
exactly.
that. That's understandable.
So that's why I ditched the fanny pack.
Smart.
Right.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. So I know you're involved in that one. Kind of help out the Marshall's Task Force in
Mhm.
Amarillo, catch at least one of those suspects. So awesome work.
Thank you.
Then the second one that we want to talk about, some background on it. This one actually starts up in the state of Oklahoma, Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Um, if my facts are correct here,
Mhm.
I believe they see this guy either speeding or he runs a red light, something like that. He's some kind of dangerous traffic
Mhm.
violation, and these Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers try and stop him. The driver starts evading. You know, he's uh, they get into a chase with him. Well, they make it down to the north part of Texas here, and then I think the way the call comes out on our end is initially that there's a vehicle pursuit in Sherman County, just to the north of us, that's headed south towards Moore County. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So we were told that we had a pursuit coming into our county, like you were saying, from Sherman County,
Uh-huh.
southbound.
Yeah, yeah.
And as far as like the way, like the road they were taking, it was kind
Mhm.
of difficult to understand if it was 287
Right.
or if it was a county road at that time. We weren't too
Right.
sure. So
Yeah.
Sarge said, "Hey, you guys head northbound on 287."
Mhm.
Typically, everyone's coming down 287 southbound on
Right.
pursuits.
Right.
He's like, set up spikes there. So we were setting up spikes. Cactus is also setting up spikes as well. So we
Mhm.
had everything good to go, ready to go.
Yeah.
And LT, here's a pursuit. Also, I call LT, "Hey, LT, we got a pursuit as well." So he's
Right.
en route. And he goes, "Hey, I got word that it's coming down County Road 13."
Yeah.
So we're like, "Oh, let's go down that way." So we go down 281.
Yeah.
So, and sure enough, dude, we go down 281, and me and Officer Gray and our Deputy Gray, sorry. And we see him. I see that vehicle southbound, but I don't see red and blues behind it.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Okay.
"Where's the cavalry at?" Because I
Yeah. Yeah.
thought they were pursuing this vehicle.
Yes. Yeah.
I just see a trail of dirt behind it, and I'm like, "It's got to be
Mhm.
our guy." So sure
Right.
enough, he continues southbound uh, onto Stone Road,
Yeah.
and LT was northbound,
Yes.
crosses
Yeah.
him, and then so
Yeah.
he turns around on him, and he's the primary officer calling the pursuit.
Okay.
And this guy, I think he was familiar with the area because he was taking back roads, and
Mhm. Yeah.
and there was a time where he took a dirt road off Road E
Yeah.
southbound, and I had to like let off the gas, man, because there was
Mhm.
so much dirt. I didn't want to like
Yeah.
rear
Yeah.
end LT.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh, sure enough, he comes out on Schumann Road
Mhm.
back southbound, and he so I'll get to this later, but there's some train tracks there, as you know, that are abandoned, that no one uses
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
I guess he's going too fast and kind of went airborne, and then like took a sharp left turn, dude, right into that fence,
Yeah.
and that ended
Yeah.
that one. And he gave up, and so did the passenger too, right away.
Nice. Nice.
But
So I guess I forgot that LT Lieutenant Jones he was involved in both of these pursuits that we're
yeah,
talking about as well.
yeah,
So
he was.
cool.
The I was gonna tell you on that one. So I was like, afterwards, it was all said and done, I was asking him, "Hey man, like, what were you thinking the whole time you were running? Why did
Yeah.
you run?" He was like, "Well, I had a warrant in Oklahoma, and I didn't want to like get
Mhm.
arrested for it, so I just took off."
Yeah.
And then he said that when he was, he said that when, as you know, you can go south, east, and west on right where Roadie's at in the train tracks. He didn't know
Yeah.
where to go,
I
so
see.
he's like looking around, and then he said, "Man, I just decided to go eastbound on Road I."
Yeah.
So he said he like cranked the steering wheel as hard as he could to the left,
Mhm.
and then didn't account for the fence, and then that's when he wrecked.
Yeah. That fence, by the way. So I came out there like I was on my way to help, but by
hmm
the time I got out there, it was already over. But I remember someone had said like, "Oh yeah, they hit the fence." I was like, oh man, there's gonna be some property damage, and I looked and there's like no damage to
Yeah,
that fence at all.
that
Like,
fence is solid, dude. Solid metal.
yeah, like the fence of justice, like put an
Fence
end
of
to
justice.
that chase immediately.
Yeah, the car was totally done, but not that fence.
Yeah. Well, and surprisingly, neither, correct me if I'm wrong, neither the suspect driver or the passenger were injured at all.
No, they didn't have any. Yeah, no, they
And
were
I know
good. No
that
injuries.
I was there whenever EMS rolled up on
Hmm.
scene and, came up to him, offered to check him out, evaluate him, see if they needed any medical attention. And
Yeah,
I think they both said no, like,
yeah.
we're good.
I still took the our suspect, our driver, to the
Yeah.
hospital to get checked out anyway,
Right. Right.
just per jail policy, and uh,
Yeah.
he was good to go. He refused everything. He said, "I'm fine, man. I just want to go to jail and get this over with." So
Okay. Well,
he was good to go there.
yeah, good with that. Yeah. And in that one too, I know, our driver has that warrant. And then, of course, he just evaded from law enforcement and everything. So he goes to jail. And then the passenger, though, in that one was found to have no warrants.
Yeah, there
And,
was,
they weren't the one driving and evading or anything. So they were actually released from the scene.
yeah, there was nothing to charge him with whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they would let go.
Involved in it. But, hey, if you don't have the appropriate probable cause for an arrest, then you don't have it. So, yeah, released from scene and good to go. But both those are really good. And we kind of wanted to recap those because it's it's a lot of fun to get involved in a vehicle pursuit.
Hmm.
But it can also be super scary and super dangerous.
Yeah.
But to be involved in quite a few of them recently and be able to catch the
It's
bad
been
guy
super fun.
every single time. So yeah.
It's like the best part of the job in my opinion, but it's
Oh
also
yeah.
like
Yeah.
nothing good will ever come out of those.
No.
It's gonna end pretty bad
Yeah. Usually, yeah.
9 times out of 10.
And if you look at the statistics on that, like I don't know what the numbers are, but the vast majority of people who run from law enforcement get caught in the
Mhm.
same pursuit, or they'll get caught later. So it's typically not a good idea to run. Usually, all that happens is these people who are running put the rest of the public at risk of some sort of horrible accident
Yeah.
or what have you. And then they just get another charge added to whatever they already are going to be in trouble for.
Yep.
So
Kind of a recap on that. The suspect that we
yeah,
got from this one we were just talking about, ran from Guyman.
yeah,
He had told me as well, like a
hmm
week ago before we had caught him,
yeah.
he had ran from APD. So like he was not
Oh,
gonna
that's
stop.
right. Yeah,
He
yeah,
he was gonna keep going, man. Like he
yeah,
was trying to get away from everybody.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. People don't want to go to jail, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like the way the system is set up, like you got this warrant, you got that warrant, whatever. You just show up and take care of it,
Yep.
do your thing, and then you'll be on your way a lot sooner than
Oh
if
yeah.
you are on the run forever. So
Yep.
yeah, crazy stuff. But no,
It is.
awesome work, man. I mean, I told the Crime Stoppers board about, just kind of the goings on. Said, hey, we've had some pursuits recently, and Deputy Martinez was involved in every one of them,
Yeah.
coincidentally, and so they're like,
Thank
yeah,
you.
we need to get that guy on.
Yeah,
So
man, for sure.
yeah,
Appreciate
but
having me on.
I appreciate you stopping by, and
Sir.
again, congrats on Officer of the Month for
Thank you.
May.
Appreciate it.
So cool. Well, we're gonna cut you loose, and maybe you'll go get in another pursuit.
Yeah, maybe.
So, all right.
See you.
All right, that's all we've got for now. We'll be back with a Officer of the Month for June coming up. We tend to get a little behind, and then we play catch up a little bit, but we're gonna catch up soon, and we'll have another Officer of the Month video for you. So thanks.